Your live interactive Weather Authority coverage will begin shortly. Your live interactive Weather Authority coverage will begin shortly. Your live Weather Authority coverage starts right now.
Good evening, everyone. Hope everybody is enjoying their Thursday evening. What a great day, right? Finally, the sun made an appearance. We had low humidity. There was no smoke in the atmosphere today. There was no humidity in the atmosphere today. Felt good to drive down the road with the windows down for a change today. Tomorrow looks decent as well. There'll be some high thin clouds that move in. But of course, the big story will be Hurricane Lee making its way off to the north. It will be transitioning to post-tropical cyclone Lee as it gets up into the Gulf of Maine. And the time frame for that's going to be on Saturday. So what can we expect out of the storm? There really hasn't been any major changes, and the messaging remains the same. I plan on like nor'easter style or nor'easter type storm for our region here. Instead of a northeast wind, we'll have a northerly component to the wind. And the winds will gust at times over 40 miles per hour. That's enough for some power outages. I don't think that we're looking at widespread outages like the October storm from a few years ago. That's something to watch, though. It doesn't take much with leaves on the trees to produce some outages, but I do think there will be. It won't be quite as bad as you know. A lot of folks might be projecting here, simply because the winds are not going to be as strong as they could be in this sort of setup here. All right, let's waste no time. I'm starting to blab about nothing now, so let's jump into what we can expect from the storm. The storm is still located about 210 miles to the west of Bermuda. See the small island of Bermuda just off to the east, right in here tonight. Here we are in Maine, and it's a little over 800 miles south of us. And notice the storm is starting to expand, starting to get a little bit bigger here as it interacts with the front. The old front from yesterday is out here, so it's interacting with that front. You can kind of see that and what's happening there. So there's no major change with the forecast track. Few items worthy of note. Last night, the track was something like this. So maybe it's 25 miles or so. It shifted east a little bit. The other item worthy of note, I talked about, it's going to be a tropical system or hurricane transitioning to a post-tropical system. That's what this one is right here. So this is the morning on Saturday. Category 1 hurricane is forecast by the Hurricane Center. And then it's expected to become post-tropical cyclone Lee. What do we mean by that? I'll show you in a second here, but this is going to be more like your nor'easter style storm. It'll have a big comma shape to it. When looking from satellite view, the wind field expands a bit. The rain expands. That western edge of the rain, though, it's going to encounter some pretty dry air. So there'll be parts of the area where it may not even rain at all. I don't think rain's going to be a big part of the storm. And wind looks like will gust 40, maybe as high as 50 in some areas. I think most areas get 40 to 45 mile per hour gusts. That's what I'm thinking out of this. Let's take a look at the storm in a different perspective here. There it is. It's located. Let's go to the center. Let's get the exact center. It's right there. 777 miles off to our south. So it's still pretty far away. Let's track it out. I like this view right here. We can zoom right into it. And notice how it's a healthy looking hurricane during the day tomorrow. Some of the high thin clouds associated with that storm gets into our area tomorrow, dims the sun. Eventually the clouds win out. The one thing I want to draw to your attention in this view right here, this is a forecast projection of what the storm's going to look like at 8 o'clock in the morning Saturday. Notice how it no longer has that tight circulation with the strongest winds right around the center of the storm. This because the storm is starting to transform from what we call a warm core system to a cold core system, the storms that we typically get here in northern latitudes. And we're starting to see that comma shape take place. There it is right there. See the comma? That's going to be, it's going to be more like your typical nor'easters that we get. Instead of a northeast wind, it'll be a northerly component to the wind. And we're on the edge of it. So I made the mistake today of going on Facebook this morning, and I could not believe how much misinformation there is out there about this storm. It's very surprising. But I think it's exciting. I think a lot of folks are excited. Maybe that's what it is. But a lot of people I got the sense of bracing for a hurricane hit. We're not getting a hurricane. We're not getting a hurricane hit. We're on the edge of a hurricane transitioning to a post-tropical cyclone. And I just plan on nor'easter style conditions here, or nor'easter type conditions. We're probably going to get north winds gusting over 40 miles per hour, 10 to 20 foot waves. That's going to be a big deal. The good news is we're expecting a north wind. It's not going to be an onshore wind, and tides are not running astronomically high. More on the waves in just a minute. But power outages are possible. I'm not going to put power outages in the widespread category like we had in that October storm a few years ago. I just, right now, I don't see that. If we get up to 60 miles per hour, entirely different ball game. I don't think that's going to be the case. Broke out the old sun for Sunday. Sunday is going to be a beautiful day. So outdoor plans Sunday. No weather-related problems are expected there. All right, here's what we can expect for the timing, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. I think the winds start gusting around 40 miles per hour as soon as 5, 6, 7 o'clock in the morning. And that extends through the late afternoon and evening. And I think by night on Saturday, we're in good shape. Sunday, again, looks beautiful. We'll get gusts over 40 miles per hour. Best chance for getting gusts over 50 miles per hour will be mid-coast down east, especially over toward Penobscot Bay. Those areas, you might get some gusts around 50 to 55 miles per hour. We'll see. Coastal concerns, waves running 10 to 20 feet. Beach erosion is expected here. Minor coastal flooding can't be ruled out, but I do not think that's going to play a big role in this. The tide is running 9.4 feet. It's at 12:47 p.m. And I think the forecast surge is 3 feet, and it doesn't come in at the time of high tide. So that's good news. So there's the potential for some minor coastal flooding, but it'll be very, very minor. This is not going to be a big coastal flooding situation. It's not like the December storm we had, December 23rd storm. The what was it? The one, what was it? What do we call it? The pre-Christmas Eve storm, or the Festivus storm. It was December 23rd. I called it the Festivus storm for the Seinfeld fans out there. All right, 8 o'clock in the morning on Saturday, waves will be building to about 10 to 15 feet as we go through the midday and afternoon. Check this out. Jordan Basin buoy is expected to have wave heights of 24 feet. That's going to be a big wave right there. So waves crashing along the coastline are going to be a big deal, but it's going to be a northerly component to the wind. And the Weather Service is really stressed in some of their discussions. With a northerly component to the wind, you're going to have these rogue waves that come in sets. That, if you're down by the water line, you might think you're okay, but that's not going to be the case, because there will be a rogue wave periodically that will come in that will go much farther up the shoreline and a much bigger. So we're in that sort of setup on Saturday. And the reason I bring that up, I just want everybody to stay safe. We've had some problems with these sort of setups in the past. I think poor young girl was, I think she was killed in Thunder Hole area years ago with another storm that was similar to this up in the Bar Harbor region. The waves start to weaken or get smaller as we go into Sunday, so much improvement should be expected there. Rain tracker, I don't think we're looking at a lot of rain, at least for Western Maine. There'll be parts of New Hampshire, maybe even parts of Western Maine that don't get any rain at all. That's a possibility here. But best chance for getting 1 inch to 2 inches of rain will be mid-coast, central Maine, and going to down east Maine. Extreme down east Maine could get 3-4 inches of rain. So the farther west you go, the better it's going to be. The farther east you go, the more rain you're going to get. And I see no reason to change this. This has kind of been our message all week. I think we'll get some gusts over 40 miles per hour. A lot of areas will get gusts 40 to 50 miles per hour. Best chance for getting gusts over 50 will probably be Penobscot Bay points east. There'll be some spots there that might get some slightly stronger winds. But I think during the day, it's probably late morning, early afternoon that we'll get our peak wind gusts. And most areas will probably be 40, 45 miles per hour or so. With leaves on the trees, there is the potential for power outages. Probably not widespread, but we're not talking about like 2 months from now when there's no leaves on the trees. And of course, the ground's frozen in the wintertime. 40, 45 mile per hour winds, we call that Tuesday in Maine. That's no big deal, right? We get that all the time. But here we are in September, it's a much bigger deal. The ground is waterlogged, it's soggy. Trees can uproot very easily. And there's a lot of leaves in the trees. So you get some branches that break because the trees can act like sails and that kind of thing. One thing to watch, if we do get stronger winds, somewhere between 50 and 60 miles per hour, much different scenario. If winds start gusting around 60, like the October storm a few years back, I thought we were out of the woods for a while. And then remember, we got a 61 mile per hour gust, and boom, 400,000 people were without power. That shouldn't be the case with this one. I don't think that's going to happen. But power outages are possible. I don't think that we're going to be in the widespread power outage category like we were with the December storm or those 2 October storms that we had over the years. Here we are at 6 o'clock tomorrow morning. I think we're starting with some high thin clouds moving in, 40s and low 50s to start the day tomorrow. It's going to be nice, right? Notice those high thin clouds moving in that will dim the sun. Eventually clouds win out. That's the leading edge of Lee. And here comes some of the rain. I think it gets in here 5, 6, 7 o'clock in the morning. And a good chunk of the day from western Maine all the way back into New Hampshire may end up being just dry. Heaviest rainfall is going to be basically Casco Bay points east and more likely Penobscot Bay points east. That's where we're seeing our steadiest rainfall. 2 o'clock in the afternoon, kind of more of the same. There's the low is actually making its way up into the Bay of Fundy at this point, and it will start to pull away during the course of the nighttime hours on your Saturday. Sunday looks amazing. I think Sunday is going to be a beautiful day with sunny skies. Temps will be in the mid to upper 70s. It'll be a light breeze out of the west. It will not be a big deal as far as the wind goes on Sunday. So outdoor plans Sunday, 2 thumbs up. We are in good shape to end out the weekend. 7-day, there it is. We have high thin clouds moving in tomorrow. Some gusty winds and a little bit of rain on Saturday. A lot of rain if you live over down east parts of Maine. But the farther west you are, let's call it a little bit of rain. Sunday, we'll see a lot of sun, and our next round of rain showers moved in on Monday. And do I dare say most of next week actually looks like September? We should be near 70, fairly low humidity, temps in the 40s and low 50s for nighttime temperatures. So I thought to, I forgot from the beginning to thank everybody for joining us on Facebook Live, Twitter, YouTube. I'm going to take a few minutes and we can answer some of your questions here. If you're just joining us on all these platforms, just a quick outline of what's happening with the storm. There's not a whole lot that's changed. I mean, the Hurricane Center's track, you might be wondering, why are we no longer in that cone of uncertainty? Well, it's just because the cone gets smaller, right? As you get closer in time, the cone's going to thin out. So extreme eastern Maine is still in that cone, but we're going to go from a hurricane to a post-tropical cyclone right here. And I would prepare for a storm that is similar to our typical nor'easters that don't have snow in them. This is going to be a rainstorm, of course, with some gusty winds. And that will be on Saturday. All right, let's answer some of your questions here. Oh boy, we have a lot of questions. I don't know if I can get to them all, but we'll try to get to as many as we can here. How bad is it going to be on Mid-Coast Maine? Mid-Coast, gusts probably 45 to 50 miles per hour. That's my guess. Do I have that up right here? How bad is it going to be Mid-Coast? There we go. How bad is it going to be? Gina says, 45, 50, somewhere in there. You get some gusts. It'll be gusty. Northerly wind, though. Bangor. Well, a lot of people coming in. All right. I live in Bangor, and thank you for the news. Are you feeling better about the storm, even though I bought 3 cans of raviolis? Hey, it's always good to have 3 cans of raviolis, Michelle. No, I feel pretty good about the storm. I think the message remains pretty much the same as we've had all week. The storm's going into the Bay of Fundy, transforms to a post-tropical cyclone. And if everything works out, it'll be pretty manageable. But with that said, it's gusts, 40 mile per hour gusts are my threshold this time of year for outages. I don't think we're going to get widespread outages with this sort of setup, but we probably will get some. All right, Angelo. How bad is it going to be? All right, I got that one. Oh, that's not nice. Oh, man. All right. Yeah, people are fighting on here, aren't they? We're going to go back to the weather questions. How much wind and rain? Oh, all right, Colin. Colin didn't see my weather forecast. All right, let's take a look. Let's go back and check it out here. Let's see, Colin. We'll find that graphic you want. Hurricane Lee. This is the wind and rain. Not much rain. Depends on where you are. All right, rain tracker, Colin. Looks like the heaviest rain will be mid-coast down east. You're probably looking at 1 to 2 inches of rain there. And then we're also talking about gusts over 40 miles per hour from most areas, which could be a lot worse. I mean, there's a lot of misinformation out there. We're not getting a hurricane. Maine's not getting a direct hit. You don't need I'll let you know if there's a hurricane coming. Believe me, if we're getting like a 1954 Carol, you'll know about it. Worst case scenario, just in case you're wondering, the worst case scenario would be a storm, like a category 2 or 3 storm, probably coming up over Cape Cod. The center of the storm would have to be a lot farther to the west. But we'll be on the edge of a hurricane turning post-tropical. So this is still a respectable storm, and you want to prepare for it. So I hope that answers your question, Colin. People are still fighting, aren't they? Let's find some weather questions here. Jamie says, are you saying I shouldn't go surfing? Well, I guess it depends on how good of a surfer you are. Nah, tomorrow will be a good day to go surfing. And so will Sunday. So yeah, give it a shot, Jamie. Not Saturday though. Yeah. All right. Thank you, Isaiah. I appreciate that. I could never handle president. Thank you. Barely handle the meteorology thing. Yeah, I'm glad too, Sue. Absolutely. Still going to get ready. Good idea. Booth Bay Harbor. I think we're going to have a reporter in your area on Saturday. So I think young Emily Santum might be in the Booth Bay Harbor area. So if you see Sue, if you see Emily, stop and say hello. Yeah, she's doing a great job for her. She's our newest meteorologist. All right. Thank you, Bridget. Hey, Bridget's here. I know Bridget. How you doing? Hope things are great. Tell the family I say hi. No foliage. Jim. Oh, Jim's in too. I know Jim. The foliage. Jim, I have a question for you. All right. So Jim is our esteemed foliage forecaster here. He forecasts for Yankee Magazine. Also former Mount Washington Observatory observer. And Jim, one of the things I had a question for you. Have you noticed all the maple leaves? They're all turning brown. Looks like it's that fungus. Can't remember the name of it, but all of our maple trees, sugar maples especially, they're all turning brown. So it's going to be bad foliage anyway, at least with those trees. So maybe Jim can put some insight on that. The brown maple trees out there. A lot of brown maple trees. I like Isaiah. Chuck Norris of weather. Yeah, Delta Force. All right. Thank you. Kayla, hello from from Biddeford. Hello, Kayla. Saturday morning. Yeah, I think we have rain and wind coming in as soon as probably 6 a.m. Any chance it tracks more east? Yes, there is that chance. It would track a little farther east. That would be great. But I think we're pretty much zoned in on a track now, Cynthia. What time will the weather start tomorrow night? I think we're in good shape tomorrow night. It'll get a little gusty. The waves will get a little big tomorrow night, Cameron. But the rain gets going, I don't know, like 5 a.m., somewhere in there on Saturday. That's my guess. It's still 800 miles to our, or 77 miles to our south. You're welcome, Joyce. Hello, Carrie. Nice to see you on here as well. What a beautiful day. I'm with you, James. Yes. And Barbie, you are very welcome for the updates. You're welcome. I hope this all makes sense. All right, let's see if we have any more questions that I might have missed here. They're coming in. When's the rain going to start? When is the rain going to start on Saturday near Wyndham? Let's shoot for maybe 6 a.m. How's that sound? And we have Carrie. Hello, Carrie. I know Carrie as well. A lot of friends on here tonight. Hello to you. All right. Tell Appalachia I say hello. I'll be in Biddeford pool Saturday morning, Kayla says. What's the waves going to be like then? Okay, so waves will be building to probably 10 to 15 feet Saturday morning. Let's go to Saturday morning. here we are. We're about 10 to 13 feet or so. Kayla, hope that answers your question. When will the rain start on Saturday near wind? Already got that one. All right. A lot of great questions. Thank you, everybody, for writing in your questions. Let's find Portland Headlight. Oh, Russ loves to take pictures of Portland Headlight. Thanks for checking in, Russ. I'd love to see some pictures this upcoming weekend. That will be fun. Good news, tides are not running astronomically high. So we're probably not going to see major coastal flooding. That's good news. My pontoon at Sebago Lake Lodge. Should I put an extra tie down? I would, Here's the thing. It's a north wind. So if you're on the south side of the lake, that's going to be worse. If you're on the north side of the lake, I don't think it's going to be a huge deal there. But it's interesting. I mean, this is a much different scenario. But in Hurricane Bob on August 19th, 1991, the worst damage we had in Maine was on Sebago Lake. I thought that was kind of interesting. A lot of dead trees on the property, Jennifer says, in the Cumberland area. Yeah, that's not good. That's not good. It's a northerly component to the wind, and it's probably not going to be the worst wind we've had in a while, but it'd be enough to produce some outages. So flooding, Bryce says, no, I don't think you get flooding. You won't get flooding, I don't think. I'd be surprised, Bryce. Good question. And thanks for your question. Do you think Lewiston will have power outages? Angelo asks. It's possible. I don't think it'll be widespread. I'm going to charge my devices. I'll charge my cell phone, and I think I'll leave it at that. I'll get a little gas for the generator just in case, but it's probably not a widespread power outage situation. But there should be some. I have no problem saying that. Isaac, Freeport, gusts 40 to 50 miles per hour, and for Freeport, you'll get some rain, but it's not going to be extreme. How's that? Will this be all weekend or the biggest impact Saturday? Good question, Miranda. It's only Saturday. Sunday is going to be beautiful. Let's look at that graphic one more time, just so you guys can understand. So this is a healthy looking hurricane that's becoming a post-tropical cyclone. See the comma shape to it. And those nor'easters that we get those nice comma shapes to it. It no longer will be a hurricane at this point. We're not getting a hurricane. We'll be on the edge of a hurricane becoming post-tropical. And there it is moving out for Saturday night. And I got the chance to use this fun icon with the sunglasses for Sunday. So I hope this answers your question, Miranda. Sunday is going to be beautiful. Outdoor plans, I think we're going to be in great shape this Sunday. All right. I think they keep coming in. I'm sorry, folks. I can't keep up with everyone. Is there a chance it will walk? There's a chance these storms can do anything, I guess, Christine, but I really feel like we're zoning in on a pretty good track right now. I mean, we've been tracking this storm for 2 weeks, and I feel like this is the track. If anything, I could see it doing this again, going right up into the Bay of Fundy. That's been my track all week. I kind of wanted to do that just because that's what we've been saying all week. So, but yeah, I wouldn't pay too much attention to that because it's going to be a large storm. It's going to be hundreds of miles wide. So that's just where the center is going. I'm with you, Josh. It better snow this winter, right? Oh my goodness. After all this rain, what a weird summer. What a weird early fall too. It better snow. I want it to snow as well. Jennifer is anticipating some power outages. I would, yeah. I'd prepare. That's a good idea. There'll be some outages. Not widespread though. I don't think we're talking 400,000. I'd be surprised. What about South Paris? What will we get? In South Paris, you will get gusts 35 to 45 miles per hour. And you're not going to get much rain, Grayson. I think you'll be in decent shapes. Now, Saco is a little different. Saco, you'll get some gusts 40 to maybe as high as 50. It's probably 40 to 45 miles per hour, Brian. So, yeah, that's that. All right, I think Everybody wants their own town. This is like a snowfall forecast. Hey, Charlie, how much snow are we going to get? Hey, Charlie, am I going to have school tomorrow? I love those questions, but I can't get to everybody's, and I apologize for that. I think I'm probably going to have to leave it there because, oh, Joan's saying tornado possible. I hope not. I don't think there will be. No tornadoes. No, very, very low possibility of a tornado. 6 a.m. Saturday. That's a great question. We talked. All right. I remember Anthony from yesterday. Yeah, I don't know, man. 6 a.m. Saturday. We're probably gusting around 40 miles per hour, 35 to 45 miles an hour. And I don't know what they're going to do with the jet port. My guess is they're going to fly. I mean, I think they will. That'll be my guess. So usually when they cancel flights, a lot of times it's for ice and snow. And I don't know. I bet they do it. I bet they fly out. I'm going on a limb. They're flying out of the jet port. I'll probably be wrong with that though. We'll see. All right, let's leave it there. I'm making predictions on airplanes, which I shouldn't be doing. All right, I hope everybody has a nice night. There's a lot of folks still hanging around. I appreciate that. Thanks for joining us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube tonight. We'll have some new information from the Hurricane Center. That will be coming in very soon. Actually, not very soon. It'll be coming in at 10:45. And hoping the second big weather hit of my 10 o'clock news around 10:45, 10:50, we'll get a chance to see the new information from the Hurricane Center. I do not anticipate much of a change out of this at all. But we have a whole nother day tomorrow. And tomorrow looks to be another nice day. So if you have some time, join us on Facebook Live, Twitter, YouTube once again. I'll be here. You can shoot me up with a bunch of questions. Hit me up with whatever you want. How much wind and rain you're going to get in your town, whatever you want to do. But I'll meet you back here tomorrow night. How does that sound? All right, folks, take care. Have a nice night.